Alrighty then, we have the beam. The beam has arrived. The delivery person wasn't very thrilled about having to deliver the beam up our driveway. It was a story, I'm not going to get into it, it doesn't really matter. Basically, we have it dropped off right here. Not exactly in the best location, so I'm going to attempt to use our tractor to move those beams closer to the house for Saturday, and then I'm just going to cover it up with tarps so it doesn't get all rained on. But we have two. There is one right here, one right here. You can see how big these things are. I'm sitting on it. They are rather large beams, 2 feet wide, 30 feet long, 1 3/4 inch. Yeah, I think it's 1 3/4 inch thick. Big beams, big heavy beams. So let's grab that tractor, cut these straps off of here, and see if we can get this thing moved. Basically, the driver didn't want to try to go between the RV and that tree stump right there. Too afraid to navigate that. All right, let's give it a try. Hi, bud. It's toasty, huh? Yeah, it's a toasty. Don't chase cars today. It's too hot for that. It's just too hot for that, buddy. It's just too hot for that. 15 foot. That's about half the distance right there. I just want to use that as my gauge to where I'm going to be putting my forks so I'm balanced as I try to move this thing. They are in place, sandwiched on top of each other with enough room to put my forks in between. I have about the halfway point here clear of any obstructions, so I can move it if I need to. But now what we've got to figure out is exactly how we're going to get this 30-foot beam inside the house. I have a couple ideas of how we're going to achieve this, but haven't finalized it yet. But I'm going to get this covered with a tarp, and just in case, well, it's going to be raining all week, so don't want it to get all wet. But there she is. There they are. The huge beams. They're going to go from the north to the south wall of our house, making it an open concept. It's gonna be awesome. Jim and I are gonna be coming up with the game plan on how we're going to prepare for getting the beam up in the ceiling in 2 days. We have some help coming with us, coming to help us on Saturday. But today we're gonna fly solo and get things prepared. So let's just talk through what we need to do today to be prepared for Saturday.
What I'm thinking is, well, we gotta find the center of the room.
Yep.
I'll measure, I think they're 1 3/4 inches a piece. But we're gonna come in here and put a stud pocket.
Yep.
You know, that'll catch all the load. So we'll find the center. And then wherever it is up here, we'll come to that side of the beam and run one all the way up. So when we get that thing in place, and we'll get the height right for the blocks up there for it to sit on, so we could jack it up with those lifts and everything be ready. So we just jack it up and set it in place and bolt it in. Just kind of a, you know, that saves several hours of doing it Saturday.
Yeah.
And we can take advantage of the manpower.
Are we waiting on these collar ties up here?
Yeah, I probably would. We could take some of them out today. I think we ought to leave maybe 3 or 4 here in the center.
Yeah, the center's pretty bad.
Yeah, leave 3 or 4 in the center. We can take the other ones out, and then we'll pop these out once we get the beam in and get ready to lift it, so it's not just freestanding too long.
Yeah.
Just kind of was my thinking.
Right. Now, in order to get the beam in here, I've prepared.
Yes.
So we'll take.
Yeah, gonna come through the window.
Yeah. So we'll just take this door. We'll take this door off.
Okay.
And then I opened up the window. Had to clean it all out and stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll just come straight on through, and that'll get us right between all of our roof bracing.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
And just straight.
I was thinking that the other day. I know we talked about bringing it in here, but that'd be a booger.
No, this will just be so much simpler.
Yeah.
We have plenty of room
Okay.
out there to swing it around. We won't hit the RV.
Okay.
We just come right in here.
And I've got a strap too, if we need it, to where you could just pick it up and we could twist the beam, but you might have room to get it out there.
Yeah.
I didn't know how tight it was gonna be, but I do have a strap if we need to.
Yeah.
I could bring a dolly. You have a dolly?
I don't have a dolly. Yeah, anything to help roll it.
I'll
once
bring
we
a
get here.
dolly to where we could at least put it on this end and roll it in. And then we'll have you're picking up the duck lifts?
Yep. Pick up the duck on Friday.
Okay, because they're on rollers as well?
Yep.
They don't roll real good?
They're back wheel rollers. You have to kind of tilt it, roll it.
The other, it should have, well, they could be different ones.
Yeah.
The legs that come down for supports usually have rollers.
Okay. All right.
Because you can roll them around.
Oh, okay.
But they won't roll that real well. But I'll bring my dolly where we can kind of get it in. We'll stand it up. We'll get the lifts ready wherever we're going to put it. We'll stand it up. We'll bolt that beam all together while it's down here. Stand it up, brace it off, and kind of jack it up and put it in there. Is when we get that beam up there like that, bring these new rafters in and tie to the top of that beam.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we'll set them at our string height. That still gives you enough. That gives you enough room to get your R30 insulation and all in there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And then we can kind of tie back. You still want to tie back to these existing rafters?
I don't think it matters anymore, because if we're going to be putting blocking
Yeah, it
to
really.
hit those,
Yeah.
and then new ones there, we
Okay.
got 2 roof systems.
Yeah.
We're fine. We don't need to tie back into them.
Okay. That'll help us with our layout.
Yeah.
We can adjust stuff. You know, because this stuff's crooked and all that, so that'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay, but that should, 2x8 rafters, this span, that's gonna be great. Because if we get all this stuff straight and don't go with the old stuff,
Yeah.
you won't have to put those 1x4s and stuff in.
Yeah, no furring strips.
No furring strips,
Yep.
save you some work. And you know, okay, we'll just plan on that. 127 3/8. Was you holding on the stud?
Yeah, I went to the edge of the plywood here, which is basically.
Yeah, that's it. 127 3/8. I'm gonna make a little different mark
Go
here.
for it.
Well, that's the center, so we already got that. That's good. We'll just put a couple studs here in a minute. That'll be my center line. Okay, 127 3/8, and we'll make it the same off of that side, because I know that wall's a little bit out.
Okay. Okay.
Top or bottom, that wall there was, in a section of it was snaky.
Got it.
So we'll get this side the same, and then we'll make that work out. It was close, if I remember right, in the corner. We'll go 127 3/8 here. Because we had some professionals do that outside wall. We know it's right? 127 3/8. 127 3/8. This marker right here. We have to take that out.
Yeah.
Mark the center line. Okay. Put 3 studs in here. Then we'll mark it up at the top. We're gonna have to do, I'll see what we need to do right there to get our bearing. Oh, you are gonna need, I know we didn't get the paper, you're gonna need a 5.5 inch bearing on that beam.
What's the bearing? Like a bearing plate? Like what is?
Yeah, where this is 3.5, is that?
Oh, I see what you're saying. You need to have.
You're gonna need it. I know we don't have paperwork, but I know a beam that size takes, they specify 5.5 inch.
Okay.
So we're gonna
Have to fur the wall out a little bit.
You're gonna have to fur the wall out, or put a beam in here up to the bottom of it.
Okay.
I don't know how y'all are finishing it, but
Yeah.
I know for sure with this span it needs a 5.5.
Okay.
If it was steel, it'd be a little different, but with wood. So I don't know your finishes on that. So we don't have to put it in today. When we get the beam up, we could just screw a 2x4 up underneath it.
Yeah.
And let y'all think about it, but it'll need it. So you either want to fur this wall out or put a beam wrap or something, however you wrap the beam, maybe. It's up to y'all.
Right. Yeah.
But I would suggest we put it in.
Yep. Yeah, we're almost.
That's why.
We're right on, almost right on here,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna.
You can see it kind of goes and twists around a little bit. It starts diving back in over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you got to go with the center to make it look right. The new finish.
Yeah, we're pretty close there.
Yeah, it's within an eighth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, Nate. Let's see, where's that? I think we put the beam up. Well, we'll have to get up in there. Well, these ain't all the same height.
No, well, they're pretty close,
They're close.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll get up there and measure, and because that's the center of the beams. You're going to be 1 3/4 inches this way, 1 3/4 inches. We want to make sure we don't hit anything.
Yep.
That's why I'm saying if we give us 1.5 inches or a couple inches of play to get it in, then we'll go back and put blocking in underneath to support all that.
Yep.
Instead of trying to fight it.
Yep.
It'd be a mess. Okay. It ain't bad though. For an old house that was built somewhere else and moved and all the settlement is done, it ain't bad. I've seen worse. Green laser. 11'5".
Okay.
So that'll be the top of our beam.
So that means the beam's 2 feet in height, so 9 foot 5 inches, we're gonna have a beam.
11.5.
So 9 foot from the
That'd be the bottom of the beam.
bottom of the beam, yeah.
But the way those rafters sit, your roof line's up almost another 16 inches to the bottom of your.
Yeah.
So that'll look okay in here, I think. And I mean, if you want to, later on, I don't know how y'all are finishing it out. You could further that beam out a little bit if you
Make it
want to
look
make
bigger.
it wider. That would probably look better because it's.
Yeah.
I think we figured about 16 inches of exposed beam. You'll
Yeah.
see. So yeah, you can just fur it out, make it wider to make the proportions look a little better. 11.5 top of beam. That gets you over 10 foot to the ceiling,
Yeah.
to the bottom of the ceiling. You know, that'll feel good in here, I think. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think if you fur that beam out, it'll look good.
Okay.
You know, I think so.
We are done for the day, so we're going to just do a quick walkthrough of what we did, the quick plan for Saturday,
Yep.
and then I have some collar ties to remove, but outside of that, we're ready for Saturday.
That's why I'm ready for the big move.
Yeah. All right, you want to walk us through?
Yeah, you want.
What we got
it's probably
here?
easier to see down here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I call a stud pocket. We got all of our liners up underneath here, all bearing. The 2-ply LVL will actually, the bottom of it will be here, and it'll sit in here, be 3.5 inches wide, the two of them together. That'll be the bottom of it. The top of the LVL is 2 foot, which is up there. So we'll get them in, set my blocks right there underneath it and get it all bolted in. And then our new rafters will go in that darker area, will be the rafter that goes from there down to that wall. That makes sense?
Yeah, and then you got a couple blocks up there. What are the blocks?
Oh yeah, these blocks here, when we get that beam jacked up and get it close to in place, you can just grab from here, this will go right underneath that. So when we get it in there, the block's ready and we put it in place and to help hold the weight.
Got it. And then we just lower
Yeah.
lower the beam onto those blocks, and it should be in place.
Yeah, we'll lower it down easy, we'll bolt it in, and then we can take the duct lifts off and that'll hold it.
Nice. And we did the same thing over here on this wall, and the single stud that you see going right up there, the beam is just going to rest right up against that. That's basically our template. And it can stay there afterwards, right? There's no reason.
Yeah, no, it'll stay.
It'll stay there.
It'll stay. Yeah, the beam actually, when we got those lifts rented, we'll lift it up. Just say this is the beam, my hand is. We'll lift it up, get this up underneath it, and we'll get it pushed in here and lower it down real easy. Then this will hold the weight of the beam. We'll bolt it in to keep it from wanting to twist and turn on us. Then we can lower it down. And because we're going to do these probably one at a time. And so these will basically go here, and that beam will sit from here up to this point. Now we just fill all this other stuff in at a later date. Fun stuff.
Yeah.